Fans across the country tuning in to the big game in Vegas between the Chiefs and the 49ers.
South Florida waves the green flag for a multi-class weekend of racing.
And FIU softball gets its season started. All of this and more on the sideline.
Hello South Florida and welcome to the Sideline, the place where you get all the highlights for your South Florida teams. I'm Kenneth Bueno.
And I'm Nicolette Esper, and the Sideline starts now.
After a long and memorable season, it all came down to Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas, which possibly cemented itself as one of the most iconic games in the big game's history.
With the historic game taking place, Sideline Pablo Hernandez visited a watch party in the nation's capital.
Sports bar Franklin High in Washington, D.C. is hosting a watch party for Super Bowl 58 as the Kansas City Chiefs take on the San Francisco 49ers. This is a rematch of Super Bowl 54 as the Kansas City Chiefs came out victorious in their last meeting. Super Bowl watch parties have become tradition in the world of sports, and Franklin Hall has done an annual one for years. There was a lot at stake for the Kansas City Chiefs and for the San Francisco 49ers in Super Bowl 58. Either Patrick Mahomes gets his third ring in 6 years, or the 49ers finally win a championship in the Kyle Shanahan era.
So despite the fact that I'm wearing a 49ers jersey, I think the Chiefs are probably going to win. So I think that it's the best defense that Patrick Mahomes has had in his entire career, and he's done a lot. He's done a lot with less. I also think that their offense isn't nearly as bad as people have been giving them credit for. I think they've really kind of picked it up in the postseason.
I think the Chiefs are probably going to win. I want the 49ers to win because I like the underdog. But the Chiefs, man, they always find a way to win. So I don't know. I wish they would both lose.
At the end, Patrick Mahomes wins his third ring as the Kansas City Chiefs win 25-22 in overtime. That marks 3 rings in 6 seasons for Patrick Mahomes, and he's getting closer and closer to Tom Brady's legacy. Super Bowl 58 is the final game of the 2023 NFL season as games won't return until September. Reporting from Washington, D.C. for Captain News, this is Pablo Hernandez.
This morning, the Heat's win streak hit a roadblock in the form of the best team in the league. Tyler Hero was determined to redeem Miami's 31-point loss to Boston 2 weeks ago, scoring 10 out of 24 points, including 2 clutch triples during the Heat's fourth quarter rally, but it was just not enough. The final score was Celtics 110, Heat 106. The Heat won't have time to dwell on the loss as they face another rival in the Milwaukee Bucks tomorrow night.
The Panthers put on a show for fans this weekend at home. The Cats took on one of the league's best in the Colorado Avalanche this past Saturday, and they dominated. Florida got it going early, netting 2 goals in the first. They would go on to put 2 more in while pitching a shutout, taking down the Avalanche 4-0. The Panthers have a string of games on the road coming up, starting with the Pittsburgh Penguins on Wednesday.
It's not looking good in Caneland. The Miami Hurricanes men's basketball team falls below 500 in conference play after a tough loss at home. Miami took on the number 3 ranked North Carolina Tar Heels led by R.J. Davis and his 25 points. Miami was absolutely outclassed from beyond the arc, shooting a poor 26% as a team. Despite their comeback efforts in the final seconds, it wasn't enough for the Canes, who fell short 75-72. Miami will take on another conference opponent in the Clemson Tigers on Wednesday.
The NFL has announced their 2024 Pro Football Hall of Fame class, and it's got 2 Miami legends. Congratulations to Dwight Freeney, Julius Peppers, Patrick Willis, Randy Grandichar, Steve McMichael, and the former Hurricanes, Devin Hester and Andre Johnson. A well-deserved honor for all. NFL fans will have their opportunity to celebrate these legends on Enshrinement Week at the start of the next season in August.
While there was a lot of spotlight on Hurricanes athletes and football players in Miami, there was a lot of spotlight on South Florida in general for baseball. With that, we'll turn to our studio analyst, Carlton Gillespie, to give us more on the Caribbean Series. A lot of fanfare in South Florida around Lone Depot Park. What was going on in the series? Tell us your thoughts and how everything fared out in the end.
Well, yeah, it's the first time that the Caribbean Series has been hosted in Miami, and the first time it was ever played in a Major League ballpark. And to say it was a smash success would be a significant understatement. anytime a baseball fan gets to see 6 days of triple headers followed by 2 days of double headers, you know they're feeling pretty good about themselves. And as for the turnout from the crowds, were great. There was a ton of energy in the players. We even got to see the first no-hitter in Caribbean Series history since 1958. Angel Pinero did that in the last round-robin game for Venezuela against Nicaragua. And all in all, just an exceptionally successful tournament for Miami.
Yeah, Carlton, what did this mean coming to Miami? It's a big city filled with Caribbeans. You know, what does this mean?
Right. Well, I think immediately it translated into massive crowds. The biggest crowd ever at a Caribbean Series game happened between the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico in a round-robin game in this tournament where 35,000 fans showed up. Then the final 36,000 fans showed up, and broke the record for most people at a game ever in that ballpark. So absolutely a massive success. And hats off to the Tiburones and Venezuela. Yeah. That team captures their first ever Caribbean Series title. It's Venezuela's 8th overall. They knocked off the defending champs, the Dominican Republic's Tigres del Licey.
That's really cool. And also with the World Baseball Classic that came to Miami a little earlier on in 2023, I mean, the success there when everyone came to Lone Depot Park, all the big games, it's awesome to see that the Caribbean Series also having that excitement, that level of fanfare, and everyone coming to South Florida in general. With that, we'll get into our biggest W's and biggest L's of the week. Of course, the Caribbean Series is a huge W for South Florida, but we have our own W's for our own sake. Carlton, we'll start with you. Your biggest W of the week, what is it?
Yeah, biggest W comes from the world of boxing, and it was Keyshawn Davis, the 135-pound prospect, took on Jose Pedraza, two-time world title champion Jose Pedraza, and absolutely battered him, knocked him out in 6 rounds. He was the co-headliner of the Teofimo Lopez-Jermaine Ortiz fight in Mandalay Bay at Las Vegas. He put on an absolute show, and it was helped out that Teofimo did not look great, even though he won. Those two are talking about having a fight. It could be a massive matchup coming for Keyshawn Davis. Big performance, big W.
2 big-time Showtime events in Las Vegas, along with the Super Bowl that happened on Sunday. Your biggest L of the week, what is it?
Yeah, biggest L this week actually does have to do with the Super Bowl. Biggest L goes out to weirdos everywhere. Weirdos were eating really good at the Super Bowl, whether it was being weird about Taylor Swift appearing on TV, Ice Spice throwing up devil hand signs during the press box, or even the He Gets Us commercials causing a lot of fanfare, or Travis Kelce bumping into Andy Reid. A lot of content out there for weirdos, and boy, did they make plenty of it. Social media filled with a bunch of weirdos, and you'd think that'd be a W, but you're weird, so that's an L.
You know, that clip with Andy Reid, a lot of people were saying that it gave Taylor Swift and then the ick. I guess Travis Kelce doing that. Nikki, your biggest W and L of the week in sports.
That's crazy. My biggest win is going to be from the Super Bowl. I got to hand it to Pat Mahomes. He did awesome. I think he led his team. You know, it was a tough game to watch, and then he got that overtime and got that 3-yard touchdown, I believe. And I think he is in the running for greatest of all times. There's hands down. This is now his 3rd Super Bowl win. I think he's going to go back again. He wants to keep going. He's hungry, and he's going to get it done.
You know, he told Tracy Wolfson in that post-game interview that when she asked if it was a dynasty, he said, yeah, and we're not going to stop at all. Yep. Next season, we're going to get to it. So what's your biggest L, though? Is it related to the Super Bowl, or is it something completely
different? Actually, I was thinking about doing the Super Bowl, but I'm taking it over to actually the PGA Tour and the Phoenix Open. They're fans. I think that I was just watching and reading things, and there was social media posts about Zach Johnson and Billy Horschel. They went on, and there was clips of them yelling at their fans, and you really don't ever see this. You don't see this. Their fans are telling them how horrible they are, that they need to stop, get off, and it's golf. They're disrupting the match, and I believe that. I just thought this was my biggest L, because fans you're coming out to support. What are you doing? You're not even supporting.
Honestly, it's surprising that I think that might be the first L that we have from the golf world. I'm not sure if we've had that before on the sideline, but I'll step into my biggest W and L's. Both of them relating to Super Bowl Sunday. I'll start with my W, and it has to go to NASCAR. Super Bowl Sunday is done with. The football fans have had their fun. Now it's time to go left and go fast. The Daytona 500 this Sunday, February 18th. So for all the racing fans across the world, they were waiting for that overtime to finish at around 11:30 Eastern, just so they can post, racing is back, and it is. My biggest L, though, is also relating to the Super Bowl from the commercial side of things, Temu. What is going on with these ads spending over $21 million on 4 advertisements that were all the same, all looked like a mobile ad, and all of them just looked so detrimental to all the other commercials that people actually put effort for? Temu, I don't know what was going on there. Also with allowing $15 million in giveaways, along with all the money they spent on the advertisements. Temu, you are a huge L for the Super Bowl. Nobody liked your commercials. I don't know who's going to be shopping anytime soon.
Feels a little odd, honestly, to me, to have social media ads on TV. So we're gonna go on to what's next on the sideline.
It's just, a way for us to give back to a sport that has given so much to me for the past 30 years.
South Florida revs up for a full weekend of racing in the FARA 500, and FIU softball makes the first pitch to the start the 2024 season. We'll take a timeout and be back in a break.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family, and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Over in Homestead, teams from many different racing classes took the track for the FARA 500.
Sideline's Dylan Pizzette offers coverage from South Florida's home of speed on the weekend event.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Homestead Miami Speedway, home of the Miami 500. It's here. It is the first race of the FARA 2024 season, and we're here to see what's going on. We're going to talk to drivers, and let's get into it. The FARA Racing Organization has many different types of classes, and the first class of the day was Pro Spec Miata. I spoke to the winner, Stuart Mackley.
We got the win just by about half a car length, so pretty awesome. If you aren't here, make a point in coming here. Like, this FARA event has just been so much fun. The guys do such a good job of running it, and the quality of driving is really, really good. I'm hoping next time that we come back, I might be able to bring a slightly faster car and upset some people even more, but yeah, we'll work on it for sure.
The second race was the Academy race. I spoke to Jack Jeffers, the winner of the race, who had also dominated the entire weekend.
I've always wanted to race on this circuit, and to win it, against Sebastian Weldon, son of Dan Weldon, it means a lot. And it means a lot to me and the team too. It's a big thank you to my whole team. They gave me the car, and they help critique my driving every night and every morning. And it's just, I work hard at home and I put in a lot of work, so it's good to see that it pays off.
And then I went and found David Tuazzi, co-owner of FARA, and a man who also just so happens to be a driver.
So we started the race somewhere around 9th place. We were able to get the lead with 2 laps to go. It's awesome to win the races.
Well, just like all the other drivers, David enjoys racing. He also is in the unique position as co-owner of the FARA organization.
Well, I definitely have to wear a lot of hats during a race weekend, but we bought the organization because we want to make it better. It's just, a way for us to give back to a sport that has given so much to me for the past 30 years.
If you're watching this and you're disappointed you missed out on this amazing race, don't worry, FARA returns to Homestead Miami Speedway at the end of March. I'm Dylan Pizzette, reporting for Kaplan News.
FIU softball kicked open their season with 2 ceremonial games this past Friday. Sideline reporter Kamora Miller has more to share about their game against Ohio State University.
Here at the Fieldberg Stadium, FIU softball opens up their season against the Ohio State Buckeyes. Fans gather behind me for this NCAA Division I seasonal invitational.
It's definitely cool to see athletes supporting athletes, and we've got to know the softball team well. We all kind of live in the same area, so it's really cool to come out and support. They usually come out and support us too, so it's definitely fun to be out here. We have opening day next week. It's nice to come out and just see some sort of baseball or softball. It's been fun.
Yeah, so I used to be a college softball player. I used to play against FIU, and now that I'm an FIU grad student, I thought, what a better team to support. I'm friends with some of the girls, and I just love to support them. A really confident and strong team, and FIU is holding their own, so it's been really exciting to watch. Be back tomorrow all weekend.
We came to support the game just because love FIU sports, and there's some few people from my hometown, so I wanted to come watch them.
I don't know too much about softball, but number 21 is really good. I like watching her whenever she plays.
The FIU Panthers are charged up to continue on their season with every swing. I'm Kamora Miller reporting from Kaplan News.
Well, we're back here on the sideline, and that was an amazing package there from Kamora Miller, who got everything on FIU softball debut for the 2024 season. Just a quick reminder that if you want to tune into all the highlights, all the segments, and more from us at the Sideline crew, you can keep up with our Instagram and follow for all things Sideline. Follow us at sideline.caplin. Well, that's it for today for the Sideline. I'm Kenneth Bueno.
And I'm Nicolette Esper, and the Sideline will see you next week.